Good morning. It's Friday. It must be Friday, between 6:30 and 7. And it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. It did rain last night. I know this is going to be awkward. I don't know how it's going to come out. And there's the opening. I closed one door last night. And see how it's going to be. And thunder and lightning too, yes. And same on that end. I don't know what it looks like. And I'll show you the other end. Tarp. And that's all for now, because I can't think of anything else, and I'm getting the urge to get out of bed. So, let me do that, and I'll talk to you later. Oh, it's Friday the 19th, 20th, I guess. So it looks like it's going to be a nice day. Probably hot, though. They're saying 90 again. That's what I read last night. Bye-bye. Okay, it's still Friday. Anyhow, you are looking at my tarp. I've had the hammock all folded up, all put away. It's in my backpack. But the tarp's still up. I have to do that. I just got my bear bag out of the tree. It's actually a food bag to keep away from the bears. But yeah, you can see it's looks like a pretty nice day. There's a little bit of cloudish in the sky, but it'll be nice. It'll help keep some of the sun occasionally directly on you, you know, so you're not getting, you don't feel like you're under a magnifying glass. And that's about it for this segment. You can see the thing. The snake skin that covers the tarp. I was thinking about setting up a little tripod and showing the whole procedure of doing that, but let me finish eating, and I haven't decided yet on that. So let me stand up and walk for a bit. I don't like sitting too long. Never feels good to me. I'm moving a little slow. I just took my meds and got that queasy feeling. I don't know if I mentioned yesterday I got out later than I should have because I spent about 20 minutes just retching. Fortunately, they stayed down, but it was not easy keeping them down. It happens sometimes, even in normal life. Yesterday, what did I do? Somehow I messed up and, I didn't eat right away. Usually I eat something right around the time I take them, and it helps settle the stomach. There's something in the woods over there. Sounds like a small creature. I'm not worried about a bear or anything from there. Not right this minute. But there is something foraging over there. And I heard it last night too. So, while I was setting everything up, not during the night. Whew. I put a little bit of water in there. That stomach so it stays nice. Yeah, I screwed up yesterday with the meal. So, and I didn't have, when I packed for this section, normally I pack these bars, Velveeta. They've got a fairly good nutritional profile and 230 calories. It's supposed to be like a breakfast replacement bar. And for the most part, it works, but it also helps me keep my pills down. So I'm eating the breakfast for the next day, but I think I'm gonna bail out and move the car sometime today. There's a, oh, excuse me, burping now. There is a road crossing coming up sometime today. And I've done 2 nights in the woods now. I was set up to do 3, so it's probably not going to be a problem with the food. I'll just get more out of the car and continue moving on. But I'll reposition the car so it's closer. And I'll get like a half a day in and a half a day. And, you know, go over the map and everything and plan out my next stretch, my next segment. But it is a beautiful morning. I guess the east is over there. Oh, it helps if I turn the camera, doesn't it? And, oh, it rained last night. That's why the tarp is up. Yeah, if it's not going to rain at all, and there's no chance of rain, why bother with the tarp? I don't bother putting it up. And it's not going to be too windy, because it really makes a difference with the wind. I hung it up because you can see that's very close to the trees on the ends, and not ideal. Ideally, you'd want to have like 2-3 feet past each end. It's an 11-foot tarp. There's a stretch on it, and then you want to go 15 to 18 feet. 15 I like, but so you have a couple feet at each end, and everything hangs better that way. The tarp hangs better, the hammock hangs better, and you're like that. I couldn't get the hammock high enough. The hammock was very low. It was below, see the openings, the distance from the ground to the tarp, and I was just a little bit below that, and when the wind was blowing, you can see it blows underneath. If you get up just for 6 inches more than I was, it doesn't bother you at all. It's going underneath you. So, you know, I try not to do that, but I found like 3 great trees, distance and size and stuff, and then I looked up and I saw like potential deadfall, so I was like, yeah, maybe not. Matter of fact, 2 of them, I was very surprised. The tree I'm looking at, because you come in and you look at this height, and you go ahead and you kind of measure the, you do an approximation with your poles. The average human is their width from arm to arm. You stretch your arms out like Julie Andrews does on The Sound of Music and twirls, and that should be about your height, roughly. So I figure 5 feet, because I'm a little over 5 feet. And then the poles I know are set for 4 feet. So the 5 plus the 4 is some big number, but it's 4 times 2, so it's 8 feet. So that's like 13 feet, which is just enough to do something like that. And so what you want to do is you want to get like definitely that, and then a little bit more. And there were like a few times coming up here, I went ahead and the trees were, they looked pretty good, a little close, but and then I could see, you know, going up and measuring it, they weren't going to be. But the ones I did find, I looked at it, and then I looked up, and you could see that the tree was dead. It was one of the ones that had no leaves or anything. Like I'm only noticing that now. Now that one might have leaves. Just a lot of the branches are dead. But nothing obviously gonna fall on your head. So, and the tree I was actually trying to, or I planned to put my strap around, was dead. And I was like, yeah, maybe not. So, anyhow, that's how I ended up with this one. This one, these 2 trees are very much alive and close to the trail. And the ground underneath them wasn't too bad. Because now, I didn't run into this in March and early April. I started to run into it towards the end of April. You end up with the thorny bushes with prickers on them and stuff, and it's not fun. You have to go ahead, and I'm worried about them piercing the tarp and putting holes in the tarp. So I have to go with my trusty knife. I've got my ultralight machete here. And I have to cut them down. You know, generally they're small, they're thin, we're not talking trees. But you're talking little bushes with little prickers. And they hurt when you forget they're there and you walk by them and they get your ankles. Stuff like that. So I spent 10 or 15 minutes clearing some of those away. And that's about it for now. I am going to continue to eat my breakfast because I do want to get out of here today. And I'll do the tarp today or some other day. I don't know yet. All right.